Lisa here, sharing with you an invitation that if you'd like to come to the last masterclass I'll do for 2025. It's a game changer because it's what I've learnt from delivering for 6 weeks to the team members. Wow, such a different mindset to the business owner. And I can put it into a really succinct understanding for you so that you'll know where you can help your team members. It's absolute gold. Like, even all the years that I've been doing it, this has been a really good exercise because I'm working with them directly, no salon owners in the room. It's been really cool. So if you'd like to get that inside story on what I've found and how you can make that improvement for next year, you're most welcome to come to the class. There is no cost to the class. It is free for you. It's my way of giving back to the community. So if you'd like to come, if you can't come, then you can register and we'll send you the recording that you can watch after. So that might be more helpful, seeing it's a busy time of the year. The other thing I want to share with you is I'll be releasing my Black Friday sale, which is very exciting. And it's about next year. I invite at the end of the year a case study for the next year. And I have the results in from last year. Absolutely gold. Absolutely gold. So that is something that I can share with you in the masterclass as well. Looking forward to seeing you in the room, or perhaps you're going to watch it afterwards, whatever suits you. If you want to join me, just click the link below and you can register. And I can't wait to help you to understand your team better so that you can get them to perform. It's a win-win all around. Hello, here we are at chapter 19 in the book. So we're really getting down to the end. So this is the book I'm referring to, Your Salon Team. It's just something I love to do. I just really love that, working with people who are struggling with communication. And I don't know why I'm so good at it. I think maybe because I was so bad at it. I don't know. But I realise that there is a lot that we can do with our team members if we just build trust and just slowly work on how do we get them to open up and how do we get them to listen to us. But you also have to open up and you also have to listen as well. So this chapter is about, is there a potential manager or team leader or perhaps business partner? And I think that one of the things we do wrong is we just pick someone we think and ask them, and whether they want it or not, sometimes they just say yes. And I think you picked the wrong person. Like there's definitely people who perhaps deserve a reward for their effort, but I don't know that that's what they even want, or that they have a good pairing with you, a matching with you, or that they have the skill set. Like you can't give that job to someone who's like all over the place, you know, like, for example, my personality is really good at getting everybody energized, excited, and playing as a team, but it's not my job to, count the stock or do all those tedious little stuff jobs. Oh, please shoot me now. So you've got to think about what it is that you want this person to do. And one of the simplest things is to ask them what they think the team leader is, what is the role, and then also find out what they think they can offer, like what do they bring to the table, instead of you gifting them a position because you're frightened of losing them, right? So there's a lot to discuss, and it's one of the things I really love doing is helping people to understand that doing it on your own has its advantages, but doing it in a partnership or somebody having shares in your business or in a way that they are invested more than you has huge advantages. It means that you can go away for a month, and if you've chosen the right person and they're on the right page, they've got the whole show and you can be off. Whereas when you are the only decision maker, the only person in charge of everything, you go away and it's really hard. Like it's really hard. So it interests me that people get into relationships really easily, but they're scared of business partnerships or relationships. And I think, no, that's different. You can have rules, and you can in a romantic relationship, but good luck with that. Yeah. that's a whole other chapter, let's be honest. But I think the other thing we do wrong is we just pick one we think would be good at. One, you've got no idea. And more often than not, you piss off someone else. And I've seen people lose a really good team member because they weren't the one invited to be the leader or the king of the castle. So yeah, be really careful. Be really careful. More than happy to have a chat with anybody, or that's, it's a big decision. I think you need to invest some time into someone else who's can help you, because you make the wrong mistake. It's like a game of chess. You make the wrong move and you'll be the pawn, not the king, just playing. So yeah, read the chapter, and I hope you've enjoyed reading the book, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye for now.
Chapter 19. Is there a potential salon manager, leader or partner in your midst? More often than not, senior members in our teams want to be the manager. Mostly they have no idea of what that word manager even means. They don't even care to step up. They just want the badge. They want to be able to go home to their grandma and say, "Guess what, Gran? I'm the salon manager." She can tell their friends at bingo and everybody's happy. It's ridiculous. In my opinion, part of the reason they chase that role is because our salons don't offer many steps for people to climb. Every time they read a Clio magazine or do quizzes about how they're progressing at work, they feel driven to be part of the important people crowd. And in their eyes, that's being the salon manager. Sometimes when I'm working closely with a salon owner, they say to me, "I've got this girl and she came to me and she wants to be the manager. Can I groom her to be the manager?" My answer is yes, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. At the same time, I find it fascinating that they're reacting to what the team member wants rather than what their business needs. And that's the wrong way round. I say to them, "Get 2 sheets of paper, one for you and one for this girl. Sit there together for 5 minutes and fill in the rest of this sentence. The manager's role is." Then we get to see if they're speaking the same language when it comes to the role. Most salon owners will say to me, after I fish around a little bit more, that they want someone to be responsible for the salon when they're not there. They want someone who will dob the team in when they slacken off. They want someone to take responsibility if things go pear-shaped, and they want the true story relayed back to them. In short, they want their replacement when they're not there. That's not always the way the team member sees the role. Most want to get their inner bossy out and boss a couple of people around. They have no idea how bad that thinking really is. It doesn't sit well with me that the team member who wants to be the salon manager is often the same team member who sees the most clients and brings in the most amount of money for the business each week. They have the biggest workload and they want to increase it. Madness. Being salon manager, leader is the word I prefer, means you can't run a full book. Depending on how capable they are, the responsibilities of the salon manager would need for them to reduce their client time by 5 hours or maybe 10 hours each week for big teams. It might require 20 hours a week. The salon manager pay is not much more than the team members. So why would someone who already has the biggest workload want to take on extra responsibility for all that's going on around them? It's mad. Where you'll get paid more in most salons is by having a full book of clients week in, week out. What are they really asking when they want to be the manager? I say they want to wear the badge. The other challenge we have is that, unlike other industries, most people who manage our salons don't come in from the outside. They have to make a shift from being a regular team member one day to being the manager the next. Most people work their way up the ranks and they get asked to do this job because they're good, honest and loyal people who you can trust. Their playmates, the team members they've been working alongside for many years, may not feel as positive about this change. They almost always seem to have their noses out of joint because they weren't themselves chosen to wear the badge. I know of cases where giving the management role to one of your key people meant losing another team member, equally as great because they felt undervalued. So be very careful giving people the honour and responsibility of the salon manager badge. I'd consider inviting every senior on your team to write 300 words or less about why they'd like to be the manager. That way, all your seniors have at least been invited. I'd also make available a list of tasks that they'd be expected to undertake as the salon manager. Most of them will be frightened away by the level of responsibility and start to wonder if that badge is worth all the effort, except, of course, for the one who really wants the job for all the right reasons, and that's the one you need to focus on. Is a partnership right for you? One of the biggest challenges we face in our industry is that our great people, our exceptional team members, often leave us. The best we can hope for is that they don't take our clients with them and open up a salon across the road. It happened to me and I was gutted. It took me months to get over it. My business survived, but it took some time. I don't know how many times I've tried to climb back up from the low it dropped me in. My situation was a little different because this person was leaving to go into business with her mother and her sister. For $6,000, they bought a business that was closed down due to a previous owner's financial mess. The move wasn't planned. It was sprung upon me, and I certainly had no prior intentions of opening a second salon with that particular team member in mind. In fact, I hadn't really thought about a second store, mainly because most of my team were young and not looking to be business owners. My oldest team member was 26 years old. Before I became a salon owner, I worked for one man for 16 years. I remember telling him that I wanted to have my own salon and I'd be happy to have one in some sort of arrangement with him. He was a traditional Italian man, very set in his ways. He had been burnt before in a previous partnership. I couldn't convince him that a partnership between us would be different. So when I was ready, I left. His business suffered because although my salon was some 50 kilometres away, there were some people who just decided not to go back to the business. They felt that without me, it was never going to be the same. We lost them, even though I didn't take them. Some people see it as a chance to try another place. It's easy to open up your own salon, particularly in hairdressing, because the fit out and set up costs are quite affordable. If we're talking high-end beauty, it's not so easy. You need to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment before you can even open your doors. I wish it was the same in the hair industry. It takes years to get a business to where it's consistent and the income is steady. Not reproducing that business model in another location is a real shame. You've done so much of the work already and you can easily replicate it in another location. You have all the product providers, you've chosen your software, your furniture, and your artwork. You've developed all your marketing plan, your training calendar, and your very strong culture. Yet, what prevents most people going into a partnership with an employee is the fear of what might go wrong. It stops you before you even begin. It really shouldn't be that hard. You need to be honest with each other, set up an existing strategy that covers either of you getting out of the partnership because of a number of clearly documented reasons. I can't think of an industry other than hairdressing where there are so many one-off businesses. Cafes, restaurants and florists are probably the next on the list, and it's interesting that they're also businesses where owners very often have a creative mindset. Travel agencies, dry cleaners, bookstores, and even op shops seem to have all slowly changed from single operating stores to bigger chain stores, repeated in multiple sites over multiple suburbs. There are fewer and fewer one-off clothing boutiques, as the big guys seem to be conquering the market with multiple stores and, of course, with super efficient online shopping. Why would you want to start 2 businesses or babies like that? Sometimes when I'm working on setting up a business plan for a salon owner, I'm surprised to find that they have this big picture to have a second salon. More often than not, the income stream in their existing salon is inconsistent or at least unreliable. Why would you want 2 businesses like that? I explain wanting a second salon is absolute madness at this stage. Imagine if you had a baby. Some of you probably reading this do have a baby. Imagine your baby's not sleeping through the night. You have to keep getting up during the night and putting the dummy in to get the baby back to sleep. Would you like to add to your already sleepless nights? Wouldn't you want to wait until this baby is at least sleeping more nights than not before you go and get yourself another one? I thought so. Let's get this baby popping its own dummy back in its own mouth and into some sort of a routine. Then you'll know when it will sleep, when it needs feeding, and when it will be awake. Then, and only then, should you be looking at baby number 2. And of course, that doesn't always happen. Didn't happen to me. Baby number 2 and 3 came unannounced when I was not ready. We seem to have coped. That seems to sink in and they don't ask me again. Instead, we shift the salon number 2 idea to the back burner and get on with the task of taking salon number 1 from good and making it great. By the way, as the mother of twins, I know only too well the 2 babies scenario. Understand why you want a salon manager and understand why your team member wants the role. Make sure it's about more than wearing the badge. Think about partnering to replicate your salon. Wait until your salon is consistent and reliable. Set up an exit strategy with your partner.